Hi, Dr. Science. Thanks for coming out to our farm. I'm Bob Ricci, 4th generation farmer here. Welcome to our farm out here at Bob's Corn and Pumpkin Farm. We do use a lot of science in what we put in and how we farm. You know, my great-grandpa homesteaded this in 1888, and the things he did back then, obviously, we do very differently today. We use a great deal of science, especially as we get ready to start planting the fields. We first have to go through and do soil testing. That's right. We have to check the health of the soil. The soil is very important in that it is literally our most important resource. If we don't have a healthy soil, I can't grow healthy crops. So the soil pH level, what it determines, if your soil is too acidic, it can't absorb the nutrients you're giving it. So even if you throw fertilizer, it's only going to absorb, say, 30-40% of what you throw at it. So it doesn't matter how much fertilizer, you're just wasting your money. Farmers that don't test that, if they don't test their soil, they don't know what kind of health it has. And what happens is the old idea of, well, if I just keep throwing fertilizer at it, it's going to grow. Well, that's too much of a good thing. You'll kill it. And you're just wasting your money. Whereas if I know my soil is too acidic, I'll throw lime on it, bring the soil pH back closer to 6 or 7. Now I can maximize the efficiency of the fertilizer I'm putting down. I'm not having to use lots of fertilizer or chemicals. I'm much more efficient with it, which is better for the entire environment. It's better for my fields. It's better for my crops. And so I'm much more efficient in how we grow it by doing testing. I'm using science to save me dollars, absolutely. I'll come through here in probably April or May. It's all dried up, it's not so wet. And we'll take every bit of this corn, chew it up with a disc, and then we'll plow it under the ground. And when we plow the ground, essentially we're taking, the plow goes about a foot deep. And it literally takes everything on the top and rolls it a foot underneath, and everything on the bottom comes up to the surface. So all this corn residue will sit under the ground, and it'll decompose, and the soil will decompose it, and that'll release nitrogen, which then fuels the new crop this year. So that's literally compost. Okay, Dr. Science, we are here in my field. This is our actual corn maze. This is the corn maze where everybody used to be running around in last fall. As you can see, now that we're here in the middle of winter, everything's flattened out, and we are already thinking about what we're going to do with this field for next year. So, one of the tools we talked about that we come in here and do is soil testing. We need to determine what the health of the soil. And what this little apparatus is, this is a soil probe. Because when you test the soil, you don't want to just dig right on the surface. You want to go down a good foot, foot and a half to see what's going on way down below. So I can just take this and push it into the ground. And I pull it up. This is about 18 inches of a soil profile now that I've got. You can see how it just comes out, and I can test this soil at any part of it. Now, it used to be when I'd test it, I'd have my own soil kit. Think of it as a little home chemistry kit to take right out in the field with you. And we would take the soil from that, and we'd have this little kit. In this little kit, we've got our little beakers, we got our brushes, and we got our different chemicals, and we could apply it onto the dirt, shake it up, and then we could do a pH test, we could do nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium content levels. And so as technology has advanced, we can actually now, what used to take me a good hour with one of those, I have a soil probe. I can just touch into the soil now, literally touch this probe on here, and it'll give me a digital readout of what the pH level is in a matter of seconds. That's the beauty of technology and science working together. Right now, absolutely is the most exciting time to be a farmer these days. Thanks a lot for coming, Dr. Science. Thanks for coming out here. I'm really glad you got to come out and see what we do there.